Hi there, it's Erica Johns from Enrichment Studies, and I am very excited to be joining you this afternoon because we have new art, and so I wanted to tell you about it. As you probably know, March is Women's History Month, and let's see, I gotta move that. And yes, we're almost through with March, but this is the soonest that I could get myself together and get this done. So better late than never. You know how it is as a homeschool mom. Life doesn't always go like you think it's going to, and so this month has been no exception. But I'm very excited because this month I've actually got 4 brand new women artist collections for you, and one of them is free. And all 4 of them can also come to you printed and shipped to your door if you have a US address. So I wanted to just show you today what I've got. I've had, part of what set me back was I've had some website issues this week that made it impossible for me to update any of the pages. So normally I have a page that shows a lot of the pictures for each of these collections to give more information about these print bundles that you can get. And I haven't been able to do that this week, so I wanted to make sure that I got on here and showed you what's all included. So this might be a little bit long, but we're just gonna meander. And if you've got questions, just jump in and ask, and we'll just chat, and we'll just do a little show and tell. So I wanna start with our freebie for March. So all March you can get this if you go to enrichmentstudies.com, and you'll see in the header, and there's a pop-up, and there's a couple of places that show where you can go ahead and sign up to get this. But this artist, her name is Virginie Dimont Breton, or Breton, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but she was a French painter, and she got on my radar because I saw some of her work at the Cincinnati Art Museum, which is one of my favorites. It's a few hours away from where I live, but I get to go there usually a time or two a year, and I've really liked her work. And this collection is our freebie for March. So let me just show you. She specialized in a realism style for most of these works. She lived from 1859 to 1935, to give you a sense of when, and if you need me to slow down or anything, just tell me. To give you a sense of when she was creating her art. It's a lot of very family-oriented imagery. And also, let's see, here's one more that I love. It's a great mom and kids collection, some parts of it. But I also love that she has a lot of really great depictions of these strong, hey Laura, these strong fishing families on the seaside. This is one of my favorites, excuse me. This mom just wrangling her kids on the beach, trying to get them a bath probably at the end of a busy day of work. And here's one if you can see. It's called The Sun is Far. He's looking at maps, thinking about where his son is traveling. So that's just a little collection. There's, I want to say 8, let me see here. I think it's 8 pieces of art that are included in that. And that one's totally free if you want to get the PDF, or we can send it to you printed, and I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. The next one that I'm going to tell you about is Marianne North. She was an English Victorian biologist and a botanical artist. So her work is naturalism would be the category that it's in. You'll see here. So there's just a picture of her. She did all sorts of world travels, and she documented the flora and fauna of the places that she went, and it's a really cool glimpse into all these places. This one was from Sicily. It's really cool when you think about people like Marianne North, or like Audubon, or others that did botanical type work. This was before it was easy to take pictures, or in some cases it was before photography was really a thing at all, or at least before it was widespread. So this was really the only way that people could get a glimpse of what other places were like, what the plants and fruits and insects and birds of other lands had to offer. So it's one of those things that today we take for granted, that we can see things from all over the world, but it's really pretty cool to think of how much time was spent to document these things, and how much time and effort was invested in just being curious and wanting to get to know what all is here. This one's cool. I really love the vibrant colors of Marianne's work, which obviously was because she was depicting something that was very vibrant, but I feel like I always get the feeling that it's very lush. Here's one from Brazil. So pretty. This was cool. This was a fallen tree in California. This is another one from Brazil, and you see we got some hummingbirds there as well. And for those of you that do nature notebooking or nature walks, I feel like this could be a really inspiring collection to just kind of give your kids some inspiration of what's possible for documenting what they see, what interested them. Marianne we've got 22 pieces of art. I guess we could say 21 plus the photograph of her are included in this collection. This was in Borneo, by the way. Here's another one, wild pineapple in Borneo. A couple years ago, I got to go to Hawaii and see pineapple, how it grew. It was really cool. It's fun to see things that you would normally just see in the grocery store, you know, kind of in its finished, ready to go to market state, and to see how it grows naturally. This one's so pretty. It's really hard for you to get a good enough picture here of how great these look, but they're really beautiful. This is another really big tree. What are these? Indian rubber trees? What you might not be able to see from here is these are people way down here, to give you a sense of the scope of how huge this tree was. Really cool. Beautiful red water lily. And that was from southern India. Oh, that fuchsia. So pretty. I love it. This is one from northern India. Got the butterfly in there too. This one's from Chile. And you know, I'm realizing now that's interesting. The title spells it C-H-I-L-I, and today we spell it with an E on the end, not an I. I'm gonna have to check and see if that's a typo, or if it's just changed how people spell it, or maybe if that was a British spelling. I'm curious about that now. This one's really pretty. That was from South Africa. We don't have a whole lot of naturalism or botanical collection, so I was really glad to find this and add it. This is another one from India. This one from Brazil. And so that's the Marianne North collection. Okay, I have another Marianne for you. This is Marianne Stokes. She was an Austrian painter And here's a picture of her. That was a self-portrait. In this collection of Marianne's work is all Art Nouveau. So these are all early 1900s or thereabout, kind of turn of the century time period. And I'm wanting to say that I feel like most of this imagery has to do with Slavic people, but I am not really sure. So if you're seeing this and you feel like you definitely know, I want to hear from you about that. I really love the piercing gaze that you get on some of these. This one, I love her crown. So pretty. Oh, right, here we go. This is the one that made me think that. Slavic girl in Sunday attire. So yeah, I think I'm on the right track. I knew that that was based on something. It's been a little while since I put this together, so I'd forgotten. And you know, I say a lot of times art is history, and especially when you consider how much of the past, you know, was before we could have a video, have a camera in our pocket, and just document everything like we can today. So these are really our glimpses into how people lived, what the fashions were, what the habits were, how people worked, all the things. So it's such a rich layer. You know, every time that you're teaching your children about people and places and cultures and time periods, if you can layer in art, that's the visual representation that we have of that time. So that's going to, you know, add so much more than just what you're hearing about, right? So get that visual layer in there. We've got so many collections and enrichment studies that can do that for you, and we're growing more and more. Just last month we added ancient Egypt. Probably next month we're going to have ancient Greece, and we're going to keep going from there to get you things that are very clearly connected to portions of history that you're learning about. But don't sleep on this. You want to have those extra layers, just like, you know, you want the factual stuff, but you also want the stories, you know, and the great literature that really help the kids connect to the real lives of people. You want to have the written accounts, but you also want the visual. That's one of the most powerful ways to really help things stick in your kids' minds. So I'm very excited about what this art can do for you. I just love this woman's dress. It says it's a workday dress, and I'm thinking if I could wear a pretty poofed out dress like that to work, I think, well, I mean, I guess I could, right? But that looks like a pretty great dress. I'm excited about it. This one says an engaged couple, and my goodness, they look like babies. I really wish I knew how old they were. And again, this is all Art Nouveau. Look at how beautiful that red cap is. This one's mother and child. Really like that. I feel a lot of peace with her work. Just has a really calm kind of vibe to it. And I don't know if I already said this, there are 15 pieces of art included in Marianne Stokes' collection. This is the last one, called On the Way to the Fields. Okay, so there's that. And then about one more, I found out about this artist just like, I think maybe from TikTok. I learned so much stuff on TikTok, you guys. And yeah, and there's art stuff, there's so much cool stuff on there. And so I learned of Hilma of Clint. She was a Swedish abstract artist, and I vibe with Hilma's work. So cool. So she's an abstract artist. She has so much vibrant color and these geometric shapes, and a lot of her work was really big. Like I want to say, let me see, we're gonna come across it here. Let me just look real quick. Sorry. I don't see it right now on the spot, but I want to say that she had a whole series of works that was like 8 feet by 10 feet or something, just really big and really bold. And I think this is my favorite. I love that orange. This is, let's see, here's another one. Her inspirations had to do with mathematics, botany, her time in nature, and also she had a really unique spiritual belief and practice, and so that also translated into her art. Yeah, that's right. Her paintings, a lot of them are on 8 feet by 10 feet. I knew it was in here somewhere. Isn't that pretty? You know, one of the things that I really love about abstract art and the geometric art, which we've got several other collections as well, but what I love about it is if your kids enjoy trying to create similar art to what they see, this is so attainable, you know? If you've got a good set of colored pencils or markers or crayons, you can do this, you know, to an extent. Obviously, being able to think this up and create it is its own genius, but we can emulate this, and this can be a starting point for learning to make art. So whereas something like, you know, technically amazing and realistic might not be something that any of us can sit down and say, oh, I can kind of do that. This you can. So this is a really great opportunity to get your kids going forward on some art. And you know, that's not cheating. Like, a lot of great artists copied great artists. That's how they got their practice. Just like a lot of great writers copied great writers to understand sentence structure and grammar and prose and all of those things. So it's a very legitimate way to get your feet wet in the art world, is copying or emulating a style. So that's one of the things I really love about the abstract art. I mean, like, you can do that. It's some squares and some circles, right? So I like it. I actually, true confessions, I got so excited about her work that I had about 12 hours where I was like, I think I'm gonna try to paint. I'm gonna get a gigantic board and I'm gonna get a bunch of vibrant colors. I'm not a painter. I don't actually know what I'm doing. And I did go to Lowe's and I looked at some stuff and I got very overwhelmed, and my imaginary career as a painter came to a very quick end, but she inspired me. It was a fun thing to think about. And who knows, maybe that'll bubble up for me again in the future. No promises, that's for sure, but pretty cool stuff. And there's the last one of that. There's 9 pieces of art in the Hilma collection. So that is just, now you can see that's all the ones that are included. So all of those are available at enrichmentstudies.com, that you can just buy the PDF collection and you can print them at home if you want. And you know, I love my HP printer. I got an HP printer probably 2 Decembers ago from Amazon. I think it was on sale. I'm not even kidding you, like $19. I've very rarely ever seen it go on sale like that again, but I got the HP Instant Ink program, which is like $5 a month or something, and my printer automatically tells HP if I need new ink, and it just sends it, which is so much better than me running out of ink every time I turn around and then having to order and wait and not be able, to print things. My HP printer does a great job printing the fine art pages for myself, so that might be an option for you if you want to print from home. But if you don't have a good printer, if you don't want to go to the great expense of a print shop, I have a relationship with a printing company that prints for us from time to time. And so right now I have all of these collections in one bundle, all 4 of these ladies. You can order from now till Monday, and get them all for one low price. And it's like, I think it comes out to about 50 cents a page, and that includes the shipping. So that's for full color on cardstock fine art pages. So I'm going to add a link so you know where to go. It's just going to be directly to the order form, since I haven't been able to actually update a web page yet, because I'm still waiting for my website to get fixed. Yay! If you're not familiar with fine art pages, I want to tell you a little bit about how that works. Let me find a piece here so I can show you. So here's the thing. If you have art books at your house, that's great, but somebody has to actually go find it, open it, look at it, and then they're going to close it and put it away. And it's not that much time with the art, right? The idea with fine art pages, and the reason why I created this, is because I want your family to have time to develop a relationship with the art, or I call it becoming friends with the art. I want there to be time to develop a familiarity. So this isn't something that's going to happen because you put up a piece of art and say to your children, this piece of art is called this, and it's by this, and here it is, boom, the end, and let's write an essay about it. That's not what I'm talking about. That's fine. There's lots of layers to getting to know and understand art. The layer that I feel like is so often ignored is the one where we become friends, where we gain a familiarity. So here's what I want you to do. You choose a piece of art, you slip it into a page protector, and you put it on the wall right next to the toilet, where every time somebody sits down, that's where they're going to easily see it. This allows them to just get to see it a couple times a day. You can also put one next to the bathroom sink where they're washing their hands and brushing their teeth. Maybe you also have spots that are frequented by the family. Maybe someone has told me that they put it right by where the trash can is, so every time that they go to the trash can, they see it. That can also work. Maybe by a desk or next to their bed. You can have up as many as you want around the house. Some people even have a gallery wall. I like the bathroom one because that's time for people to just observe the art without your help, which I realize is a tough thing for homeschool moms. Maybe we tend to want so badly to make everything a teachable moment, and to capitalize on the opportunities that we see. But with art, you can let the art speak for itself. It doesn't matter if your child is 3 or 30, any age that you are, there's levels to understanding and appreciating art of all kinds. And so you could just let it be. Maybe you do say like, hey, this month we're gonna have up this, or this week we're gonna have up this, and you'll see it around the house. Maybe you want to do a little introduction, but you also don't have to. You can just put it up there and just surprise people. You know what, if you don't have time to put it up there, make it a chore for one of the kids, or see if somebody wants to be your art gallery coordinator, one of your children, and let them select and put them up for you. All you need is some page protectors and a little bit of poster putty, and you're good to go, and you can get these on the wall. And then your kids are going to have time, you're going to have time to just get to look at it. Get to read. On each of these fine art pages, it tells you the name of the piece, who created it, the year. In some cases, it tells you like the style. So like in this case, it says abstract art. Sometimes it tells you an interesting fact, either about the artist or the piece. It varies from collection to collection what kind of information was available and appropriate for the piece. But it's just a little nugget of information, and they're going to get to know it. I've heard from so many families that once their kids have spent time with fine art pages at their home, when they're out at the library where there's an art exhibit, or when they go to a museum, the kids are so excited because already they're like, ooh, I know who made that. Either because they know the piece itself or because they recognize the style of the artist. But it's just a very organic but effective way for your kids to come to be friends with the art. It's not something that's a burden to them in their school day. It's a gift. It's something beautiful. It's something joyful. It's something interesting. And you could just let it be. You don't need to turn it into a task for you or for them. You can let it be something that they enjoy and that's an enhancement in all sorts of ways. And so that is, in a nutshell, what Fine Art Pages are about. So I have thousands of families that use Fine Art Pages in their home, and for the ones that aren't on your walls, you can also create notebooks with your page protectors in a 3-ring binder so that you can keep track of your collections. You can display them when it coordinates with a season or with something that you're studying or just something that you're interested in or have an affinity for or just haven't looked at for a while. Plus you can have it out like kind of a kid-friendly coffee table book where they can just flip through and look at whatever they like. So it's a great way to just start developing your at-home art gallery and having more layers of enhancement for what your kids are learning. So there you go. I'm really excited about these 4 new collections. It's very rare. I don't know if it's been a really long time since I brought out 4 new collections in a month, but I got on a roll and I got really excited about these. So I hope that you're excited too. We also, in addition to the print bundle opportunity, all these PDFs are on sale if you just want the PDF version, and I will include a link and information for that as well. If you have questions, please let me know. If you have suggestions of great artists that you wish we would include, please tell me. I am so excited all the time to learn about new artists. There's so much out there that we haven't even gotten to yet, so it's very fun for me to learn about these people and curate collections that I can share with you and your families. So that's all for now. I hope you have a great day, and come visit us at enrichmentstudies.com and get your freebie this month. Bye.